You know, we all think of our home as our sanctuary, right? Our safest space. But what if I told you that nearly 50,000 home fires every year in the US are sparked by something you probably use every single day without even thinking about it? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that silent spark hiding in your walls, and more importantly, how you can stop it before it even starts. So, let me ask you something. Think about that one outlet, you know, the one where you charge your phone every single night. Could that simple, everyday act actually be putting your entire home at risk? It's a pretty startling question, I know, but it's one every single one of us needs to answer.
And the tough reality is, for thousands and thousands of homes, the answer is a scary yes. And the culprit, the bad guy in this story? It's something called an electrical overload. And trust me, understanding that term is the absolute first step to protecting your home.
So, let's dive right in and talk about why this is such a silent but seriously significant danger in our homes. Okay, so what in the world is an electrical overload? Honestly, it's simpler than it sounds. Imagine your home's wiring is just a water pipe. If you try to force way too much water through it, what happens? The pressure builds up and boom, the pipe can burst. Well, it's the same idea with electricity. When you force too much current through a wire, it can't handle it, and it starts to get dangerously hot.
Now, this is what's actually happening inside your walls, and it's pretty wild. On the left, you've got a happy, safe circuit. Everything's flowing just fine. But look at the right. In an overloaded circuit, so much current is rushing through that the plastic insulation around the wire literally melts away. This exposes that super hot wire, which can then touch wood or insulation or even dust, and poof, you've got a fire. So you see, this isn't some little glitch. It's a physical breakdown of your home's nervous system.
Okay, so that sounds pretty scary, right? But here's the good news. Your home almost always tries to warn you before something catastrophic happens. You just have to know what to look for. So let's talk about how to become a detective in your own house.
And this slide, wow, this is your checklist. Is your home trying to warn you? Let's go through it. Do your lights ever flicker or dim when you, say, turn on the microwave? Ever catch a whiff of a faint, kind of plasticky burning smell near an outlet? Are any of your outlets or switches warm when you touch them? Or worse, do they look discolored or scorched? These aren't just quirky things an old house does, these are warning flares. Buzzing sounds, breakers that trip all the time, or even getting a tiny shock, that is your electrical system literally screaming for help.
All right, so we've talked about the problem, and we've talked about the warning signs. Now for the most important part of all, what you can actually do about it. This is your action plan.
Here we go, your simple 5-step safety plan. Step 1, know your circuits. Step 2, calculate your load. 3, spread out those high-power devices. 4, use good quality gear. And 5, inspect everything regularly. Okay, let's break that down a bit.
Now don't worry, you don't need to be a math whiz for this. This is some simple math that could literally save your home. See, most of your circuits are rated for 15 amps. So to figure out how much you're using, just add up the watts of everything plugged into one circuit. For instance, say your toaster is 1200 watts and your coffee maker is 800. That's 2000 watts total. You just divide that by 120, that's the voltage in your home, and you get about 16.7 amps. That is more than 15. You are officially in the danger zone.
Okay, listen up, because this next one is a golden rule. It has 0 exceptions. Any device that's designed to create heat, we're talking space heaters, toasters, hair dryers, draws a massive amount of power. Power strips and extension cords, they're just not built for that kind of heavy lifting. They will overheat and can easily catch fire. So say it with me, high-power devices always, always get plugged directly into the wall, period.
And hey, while we're on the topic of power strips, let's talk about this little disaster in the making. It's called daisy chaining. It's when you plug one power strip into another one to get more outlets. This is one of the single most dangerous things you can do. You're creating a massive overload on that one wall outlet, basically turning your power strips into a ticking time bomb. Seriously, just don't do it.
So, let's put this all together. Following these steps isn't complicated at all, but it is absolutely 100% critical for keeping your home and your family safe. And that's really the big takeaway here. You don't need to be an electrician to keep your home safe from this stuff. You just need to be aware. Aware of those warning signs, aware of what you're plugging in, and aware of the limits of your home's electrical system.
You know, this is about more than just a few safety tips. It's really a shift in mindset. It's about going from just using electricity to actively managing it for your family's safety. And that brings me to one last thought for you. Think about it. We are all taught to test our smoke detectors regularly. It's a non-negotiable safety habit, right? So let me ask you, When was the last time you walked through your house and intentionally checked your outlets and your circuits for any of those signs of overload? Making this part of your routine is every bit as important as checking that battery, because it helps you stop a fire before it ever even has a chance to start.